why you are translating.
Yeah.
You can't. You have to have theory. You have to start building, from the ground upwards. You cannot start from level one. This is like engineering in my opinion. It gives translators a framework to work, especially when they are under pressure. So imagine you are bound to a very tight deadline and you need to translate a highly technical document, legal document or medical document. So at least you know why you adopted this strategy and not that.
But then when the client comes to you and say, I didn't like this, and that, as a client, I will be like, I don't care about your theory. The result is not the same. What is going on? Why we do study what we are studying?
I see if the target audience understands, why not? I felt theory was so relatable. I felt that practice and theory it complemented each other in such a nice way. So yes, academia helps you get the theory, helps you get the foundation, the knowledge, but it is the profession that gives you this. I mean, requires from you speed, efficiency, and more importantly, specialization. And this is when I said, I love academia.
But we're gonna have an episode that will be crazy. That's gonna be amazing. So I hope that your coffee is now warm and well prepared because we're having a blast. So, my name is Elsa, and I'm really happy to be joined by Mrs. Christina Yepremian. She's the senior coordinator of the School of Translation in St. Joseph University in Dubai, a copywriter, a double MA holder, and a lot of things that will be in common between me and her. So you are in for a treat. Miss Christina, please introduce yourself.
So my name is, you already mentioned it, Christina Yepremian. I am the senior academic coordinator at the School of Translation in Dubai at St. Joseph University. I graduated back in 2002 from St. Joseph University, Dubai. And then in 2023, late 2023, I got my second MA in Translation Studies. And you can tell from the double MA how much I love translation studies. I have a passion for
Studies.
for studies, exactly, and for academia in language.
Well, I'm myself an academic graduate. I'm a conference interpreter and I have my MA in interpretation, but that level of theory is like next, the next level. So like, wow. So I know that we have a lot of questions. And yes, I prepared them on my phone because otherwise I'm gonna have a million questions to ask you.
Yeah, let's stick to those questions.
So here we are. First, why is translation studied in academia, and what does academic training give a translator beyond language skills? Why academics?
I believe academia provides students and translators, I mean, students mainly, with more than just grammar and vocabulary.
Yeah.
It helps them look beyond language, it helps them explore the, let's say, cultural, theoretical, and ethical dimensions of translation, so it helps them, it equips them with this framework. So for example, if you study one of those translation theories like functionalism, the function of translation, translated piece of work, what does it help that, what does it help you, does that help you with, sorry, it helps you see, let's say, the purpose of the text that you are translating, why you are translating it. And another theory, let's say, is the cultural turn in translation, again, that helps you acknowledge, let's say, the target audience, the publisher's expectations. So this kind of critical thinking is what distinguishes a professional translation from someone who is simply bilingual or someone who's simply fluent at languages, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I've received these questions from so many of my students and other people. Where do I find some translation or interpreting course online that I can use to start translation? And I'm like, dude, yeah.
You can't. You have to have theory. You have to start building, from the ground upwards. You cannot start from level one, This is like engineering in my opinion. Yeah.
We're engineering words.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, we build cultures, let's say. Yeah, this is the core, of translation studies. It's beyond languages, it's beyond words, it's cultures.
Yeah, it's the culture of the language or of the society that is embracing that language, let's say that.
Yes,
And also the culture of translation itself.
yes, exactly. And you only earn that when you get to learn theory. Otherwise, you can't.
Yeah, exactly. Because some critics say that university is only theory. And so they need practical. And so, how does theory serve the practical side and why theory?
Theory is very important because it gives translators a framework to work, especially when they are under pressure.
Ah,
So imagine you are bound to a very tight deadline and you need to translate a highly technical document, legal document or medical document. So theory gives you, makes you feel more grounded and helps you justify your choices and the decisions you are taking when you are faced later on with client feedback.
yeah.
So at least you know why you adopted this strategy and not that. And I think this is very important, especially in professional and institutional contexts.
Amazing. And now, for example, in practice, because like I'm someone very pragmatic, and at the same time, I will be playing a bit of the devil's advocate. Again, I'm a college graduate at the end of the day, so I do understand where this comes from. But then when the client comes to you and say, I didn't like this, and that, and you come with me with the theory of whatever scopus, whatever it is, as a client, I will be like, I don't care about your theory. Just the result is not the same. What is going on? How do you respond to such a feedback? Now I'm taking it a bit to the extreme, but it really reinforces the role of where we come from, why we do study what we are studying.
Usually, in this case, I will talk from my own experience here. What I usually do, I look at the outcome, I look at the larger picture. I see if the target audience understands. Why not? Unless it's something highly technical, then I ask the client to give me options. Yeah, just like AI nowadays.
Yeah.
I ask the client to provide me with different suggestions, different options. And this is where, again, theory plays a role.
Yeah.
I listen to the culture of the target audience and I pick from the suggestions, or I invite the client to choose with me. So again, it's a two-way, two-directional decision.
Yes. Yeah.
And this I learned throughout my career, as a translator, as a professional copywriter. So, but again, I don't rely on intuition alone. And this is very important. I go back to theory, and starting from theory, I take the decisions that I see that are relevant.
Exactly. So theory as a baseline to the decisions that you take practically, and this is the importance of theory in practice.
Yes, the theory is the foundation.
Yeah.
It's like, again, as I said, it's like building that bridge to cross, from one culture to the other. So you cannot build the bridge if you don't have the foundations. And theory, in my opinion, are the foundations.
Of course. course, because they come from somewhere. And we were talking about that just before we started our podcast. So when you started the other master's degree, it started way after you started your professional experience.
Exactly.
I want the people to hear about that.
Yes.
once again.
Yes, exactly.
That's crazy.
After more than a decade of working as a translator, as a medical translator, as a copywriter, an Arabic copywriter, when I went back to university behind the, table, the desk once again in 2021.
On the other side of it.
Yeah, exactly. I I felt, theory was so relatable. I felt that, practice and theory, it complemented each other in such a nice way. It was like they were in harmony.
Yeah.
There was nothing in practice that did not exist in theory. So it was beautiful. I started connecting all the dots. And this is when I said, I love academia. Sorry,
You love
being too
academia
academic.
a lot. You love academia a lot. I'm impressed because I took slightly the other way around. I took the more entrepreneurial, professional, on the ground
Side
pathway,
of it, yeah.
and I love it. I love it. So it's really beautiful to see someone who really saw the importance of academia in this. And speaking of professional and academia, so when a student comes to the university, they would say, okay, what will I study in class to help me get a job? So is that I'm studying in class going to be able to give me a job later on? And that's a really, really critical question, especially in our times today.
Yeah, that's a big, it's a massive, yeah, it's a big question. So yes, academia helps you get the theory, helps you get the foundation, the knowledge, but it is the profession that gives you this, requires from you speed, efficiency, and more importantly, specialization.
Uh-huh.
So, and I think the challenge is to make that leap, that jump. It is a challenge nowadays, especially with the advances of AI and everything. And this is why universities, academic institutions that offer or include, let's say, collaborations or internships with industry, with, let's say, translation companies, law firms, I don't know, marketing and advertising agencies.
Which is extremely important, and we will talk about that.
Yes, of course. This kind of collaborations help students, make that transition more smoothly. Because they most likely, they will land a job at the end of their internship period.
Right, exactly. And this also includes, for example, Apex, which is our host for this podcast, and for all those events that will be coming up. We will be talking about that a bit later. But a very important idea you spoke about, which is the marketing and advertising agencies, because it is a common myth that I was programmed into believing for so long, for decades actually, that, okay, I'm not into much social media. See, I'm not really salesy, I'm not businessy. However, we need to understand, especially at this critical moment where a lot of things are automated, that it's very important to get it, which is I am a translator, but this is only half of the job.
Yes.
The other job is I am an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur equals immediately marketing, sales, finances, even legal, whatever. You have to have these skill sets. Otherwise, you're going to fall behind very quickly, and it will be very hard for you to come back. So what's your take about this?
Yes. So some universities, they have, let's say, and that includes, let's say, internships and practical projects. Yes. They introduce students to client expectations and deadlines and workflows with the CAP tools and whatnot.
Yeah.
But again, internships, they lack the realistic sense of the market.
Thank you.
And this is rarely taught at universities. And I think it's crucial for students, before moving ahead with their careers, and looking for a job. It is crucial to know how to market for themselves, how to advertise for themselves, because they don't know, because they're more, into crunching words and cultures than crunching numbers, negotiating rates, translation rates, how to be competitive, how to even build a portfolio.
Yes.
They don't know that because they're too busy, translating and working with languages and whatnot. And rarely do these things taught at schools or at university. And moving from this point, at St. Joseph University, we have that. We teach that to our students.
What do you teach?
I teach that, as a matter of fact.
I love it.
Yes. Actually, there are 2 courses that we teach. One of them is domain of advertising. I introduce students to the big world of advertising, the ins and outs, how it works, how to write, social media posts, how to write headlines, catchy headlines. And the second course that I teach is the business side. How to negotiate all the issues that I just mentioned. How to market, how to start a translation business.
Wow.
This is traditionally not taught at universities, but here we do teach that. I teach that, how to start a business, how to make, let's say, cold calls. They don't know you. How to offer your services, what to do in case of a feedback or complaint.
Yeah.
So, all these skills, soft skills, are taught. We make sure that students at least have a sense of it, when they are graduating.
This is very important. It's extremely important. I even would recommend maybe creating a course for those professionals who are already in the market, but they want to take it up a notch in terms of entrepreneurship, in terms of business side of things.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Here you go. Here, I have an idea.
Yes.
I love that. I love that. And I truly think it's very important, especially now. I cannot stress that enough. So yeah, and this is something I think we already spoke about. Are internships and practical projects enough to bridge that gap between the theoretical world and the practical world?
Yeah, as I just mentioned, it's they, to a certain extent, yes, but not completely. Because this part of the market practice, the being market smart, street smart, lacks in our rigorously, or entirely language focused or discipline focused curricula. Curricula. So that's why it's very important to shed light on the business side of translation.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is something we actually have in common, both of us. And I truly I'm really happy to have this conversation because sometimes we have to just address the elephant in the room. And
Of course.
it's a big elephant.
It's a
It's a mammoth.
Yeah. Exactly.
Speaking about that, can you talk to me more about your own experience as a professional and how the theory directly helped you, the university realm helped you in the real world?
As an Arabic copywriter who worked, not has, who worked, and on a number of advertising campaigns, day in day out, I had to deal with similar situations when I had to rework headlines, rework campaigns entirely.
Wow.
Or yes, come up with new headlines for a campaign and justify myself. because many times the client didn't understand, didn't speak Arabic. So every time they would ask me to write a rationale, and the rationale is the justification. Why I chose this and not that. Why I made this decision. Why I adopted this strategy. So here you go. This is where the theoretical, framework came into play. So yes, I had to write and then justify myself, write and justify myself. So I think, had I not studied, had the formation, my academic journey, I wouldn't have been able to, I think, to justify myself, come up with the choices. I mean, the reasons why I chose this kind of transcreation and not that kind of transcreation. Why not literal transcreation? I mean, the translation. So this is why advertising is called transcreation, because you create or you create the other culture.
I mean, translators, even in a normal setting, translators are mostly writers as well.
They rewrite, yes. And this is part of the cultural turn in translation studies, going back to theory.
Here you go. You have a hands-on example.
This is André Lefebvre, yes.
There you go.
The scholar's name.
Why not? Why not? And actually, it sparked my curiosity. For example, okay, so when you want to justify, what would you write? So according to Lefebvre theory, this is that, or how does it happen when you write it, when you would
the rationale? Yeah. No, it has to be very user-friendly, and reader-friendly, because those people are very market-oriented, they're not...
They have no
clue. Scholars, no, they're not academics. So, what I usually write is in plain English, of course, and I used to write, let's say, again, issues like equivalence, issues like fidelity, issues like register, come into play when you are justifying yourself. You know. So this is what I used to play on. So this is the, let's say, if the campaign was for back to school, imagine, for, I don't know, the cheese, kiri, for example. So it has to be for moms.
Yeah.
So you cannot use register that is proper to, I don't know, for cars. Right. So it has to be very warm, very cozy, very simple. So I used to write the words and transliterate them into English, the Arabic, written in Arabic, written in English letters, in Roman letters, the Arabic word. And I used to explain it, what it means and why it's very, correlated to give the sense, the meaning, So yeah, this is how I used to justify myself.
Okay.
Or even give them some other examples, of pieces of advertising from other campaigns, and because they did this and they used this word, so I used it. Yeah. It was like research.
Yes, it is.
And you can only do that properly once you have the proper academic training.
Yes, of course, because you need to be trained on how to find your information first, like not only to get the fish, but to learn how to fish.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's something I also used a lot to work on with my students, because like a lot of times they would ask me for the information itself, and I would say, hey, I'm not a walking dictionary. Yes, I am a translator, I am an interpreter, but I'm not a walking dictionary. But what I can do with you, because this information, the same information I can give you now, can be wrong tomorrow. So what I can do is teach you how to look for that information and how to know that this is the right information or not. This way, even when I'm not here, you are already covered.
Yeah, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been intimidated, like, by when they ask you, what does this word mean? They think that you're a walking dictionary. When you said it, it popped into my mind.
I would do it. With every smart teacher do. well, you tell me what does that mean? No, I don't know. You tell me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't care if I know the information or not. I care if you know how to look for it or not.
Exactly. Yeah, it's happened to me as well many times.
And sometimes I enjoy it when they challenge me, because I learn a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And students, they're smart and they know. And if you know how to speak to them and how to speak to their intelligence and to recognize that, hey, I know that you're trying to do this. I'm not playing your game, but I know where you want to go. Let me take you there.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, immediately they're gonna be your friend, actually.
Exactly. You will build that trust relationship,
Yes.
you know.
Yes.
Yeah, I believe in that.
Yes, it creates a safe space for them that they are in good hands.
Mm-hmm.
And these people, they
And
start,
it's okay not to know something.
yes, they understand this here. This is humility. Like, hey, I don't know everything. I'm here to learn, and this is how I grow.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how I became the person I became. Here I am teaching you. Here's my experience. I'm a conference interpreter with a decade of experience, for example. So it's still credible.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
real.
And real. Yes.
And that's
and human.
Yes.
Most importantly.
Human.
Yes.
In this era of robotics.
AI and robotics. Go there.
That's completely other podcast.
Exactly.
And this is something I did. I designed courses, I designed syllabuses when I was the coordinator, when I was teaching in Lebanon. If you are now to design a new translation course,
Mm-hmm.
how will you do that? What will you do? What would you do differently?
Well, I would integrate 3 very important things. One of them is AI, capitals AI, definitely. The second thing is specialization.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And the third thing is the market side of translation.
Yeah.
Specialization, I will go back to specialization a bit because it's the only thing that AI will stay behind, you know. Okay, in regular standard translation, yes, it's catching up. It's already caught up with us.
Yeah.
But in specialization, it will take, remember, we laughed about it, light years to replace humans.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, I don't think there are, or maybe there are specialization courses, but it's very important and we need to leverage that.
So specialization,
market side, yeah, and AI.
of course. I've seen it, like a lot of people talk about it, that they're going to integrate it in a master's degree. But for me, I think it has to happen like from the very beginning.
This year, yes, we introduced a new course in our program, in our master's program, which is AI.
Mm-hmm.
And we will introduce our students to different AI tools that would help them, with communication, expression, and how to navigate, how to utilize those AI tools in their daily lives as professional translators. I mean, in a sense, yes, we have to integrate it in our programs and in our profession as well, because AI is here as a shortcut to help us. It's not here to replace us. That's our belief. Yeah.
I mean, use it. How to use it as an opportunity instead of as a threat.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not a threat. It's definitely not a threat. It's an opportunity. Yeah. Yes. It has to complement our job, not replace our job, our profession.
Yeah. And if we knew how to use it, it will actually make us smarter. How? By focusing on the more complex things.
Yes, remember we were talking about this a while ago.
Yeah.
It takes a professional translator to make the right choices, not his or her right choices, but the ones that AI, has given as output.
Yeah.
So you can keep, prompting, giving more and more prompts until you reach to the output that you really think that is relevant to the requirement, to the job, to the text, not not the first output that pops on your screen. And this is, I think, very dangerous, because if AI falls in the wrong hands, if let's say clients,
And it happened so many times.
yes, it's really harmful. Instead of increasing that the graph, it will decrease their sales at the end of the day, because
Exactly.
they're all result driven.
Yeah.
And they will not land, they will not reach to the the result that they desire.
Exactly. Yes, the cost in
Of course.
numbers goes down, but in value, it will cost you millions later.
And another thing, when you specialize, automatically your rate as a translator goes up. Definitely. Instead of decreasing, because you're offering something that is very rare.
Yes.
Yeah, not something very standard,
Exactly.
and that ChatGPT, the free version of ChatGPT, cannot give the client.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, the client can invest as much as they want in their AI. At the end of the day, who will know what fits where?
Of course.
It's someone
Professional. Yes.
professional.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah.
Which brings me a bit to a question that I actually hate,
Which one?
but I guess I get a lot. What advice would you give to current students who want to succeed as professional translators? As if there's one advice.
Oh yeah, there are so many pieces of advice. I would tell them to stay curious, just like we are.
A lot.
Yeah, stay curious. Don't think that the diploma or graduation is the end of your training journey. No, it's a continuum. It's like it's a lifetime of curiosity, of learning. It's a learning curve. It's a continuous learning curve. It doesn't stop anywhere.
It's only the beginning.
It's only the beginning. The graduation is only the beginning. You will make mistakes.
Please do mistakes. Please do make mistakes.
Please. Everybody will make
I
mistakes.
do tell that to my students, like, please make them.
You will learn from your mistakes.
Yes. Do them, make them, learn from them.
Exactly. And don't be scared, of client feedback, of client comments. No, explain. And I mean, the client is a human being as well.
Yes.
If you try to reason with the client, eventually they will understand. Otherwise, you always like free to go with their option.
Yeah.
This is what I do when I come to the point of no return. I say, okay, whatever you want. Yes, you are right. And then again, I try to build, this trust relationship.
True.
That sometimes I compromise, sometimes you have to compromise. This is how I learned, this is how I paved my journey. And the same goes to my students. And I tell them also to build a portfolio and to volunteer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because this is how they will start, they will make that transition.
Yeah. And build connections.
Yes. So, and specialize. This is something else.
Yeah.
Find an area that you like and specialize in it.
Yeah.
How do they specialize? Either by attending courses, classes, or working in that domain, not changing jobs, hopping from one place to the other.
It's really about serving. So selling is serving. We're not talking about being salesy or being sleazy or something. It's really, I'm serving you. So, okay, I'm here to solve you a problem as a client.
Exactly. Exactly.
Find that problem, be tuned to what they want, and just sell them it. The sale will happen just like.
Yeah. I think, in this case, communication also plays a big major.
Communication, it's about openness, humbleness again.
Yes, humbleness.
Yeah,
exactly.
Being willing to learn
and to accept mistakes.
Yes.
To admit that sometimes if you have to say, yes, I apologize, it was an oversight, it was a typo, that yes, you can do what you want, we can rewrite, and offer them free translation next time, if there's a mistake or something.
Yeah. That's what makes you, before being a translator, it makes you a service person, a person of service who leads by serving others. And this is how actually you will make more connections, you build trust and rapport, and build more clientele.
Yes, of course, build the clientele is so
And
important.
raise your rates.
Raise your rates, of course, because usually how our clients used to come to me was exclusively through word of mouth. Mostly.
Yeah.
Not exclusively, sorry. Mostly word of mouth.
This is the highest form of authority, actually.
Yes. Yes, exactly. And rarely have I ever sent a CV, and it used to be it was always word of mouth.
So, I know we had to cut it that short. Oh my God, I really wanted to continue with that, but
We need a part 2.
we definitely do. We definitely do. خلاص, I will put it in my calendar. And Mrs. Christina will be also with us at the ITD event, International Translation Day event, on the 27th and 28th of September. Okay, the ITD is on the 30th, but our event will happen at those dates. It will be also crazy. You've just seen a little sample of what's waiting for
Snippet,
you,
yeah.
a snippet. So it's going to be 2 days of pure enjoyment, pure activities, and crazy stuff happening. So stay tuned. And that was for me. Any final words or something that we needed to talk about and we didn't?
Any final words? I would say that thank you for inviting me.
Thank you.
And I believe that, academic training and profession, they complement each other. As you know, that's the gist of what we just talked about. They don't act on their own, they're not two separate entities. They complement each other. So without one, the other one, I don't know, lags behind. Without same thing goes to the other. So this is why it's very important. And I highly recommend, translators who don't have degrees or students who want to specialize in translation, to have a professional, academic training.
Grounded training.
Yeah, and to introduce themselves, to the realm of academia, because it's very
It is really important. And really, if we had people like you who have this type of drive and smart dealing, let's say, with both of these realms, I think people would be adamant and passionate about both theory and practice, and they would really understand the importance of it instead of just criticizing.
Yeah, it's not boring anymore. Academia is not, the academic training is not boring anymore because it integrates so many exciting and fun stuff, realistic market sense, things, courses, and yeah.
And our field helps. It helps.
Of course. Yeah, because all the let's say the courses or the examples, the cases that the students practice on come from the real market, real life.
Exactly.
They're not like I mean from different times.
Yeah, from a different bubble.
No, they're from now. It's very modern.
Exactly. And the teachers,
of
they
course,
are professionals.
Mhm.
They come from the floor,
from the industry.
from the industry.
Yes. They're not only like, they're not scholars.
Yeah.
We have lecturers who work
in the field.
in the field, yes. And they give students real life examples.
Exactly.
So this is how we complement each other.
Exactly. And this is why I love this conversation. There will definitely be a part 2 for that. Really a huge thank you, Christina, for this. I truly enjoyed it. We have a lot to talk about, but until next time, see you.